Anglers Extra.
Welcome back on the Anglers Extra pregame show. It's time for the Manager's Show on the field at Lowell Park. Beautiful day here in Cotuit, Coach.
Hey, did you see what he just did? He took a cup of water, he got it in his mouth, turned his head, he spilled water all over the place. That's beautiful.
Yeah, Yale's really lowering their admission standards.
God almighty. That's something. You go to Yale? Oh, my God, okay.
That's what he tells us.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's good. Good for him. There's hope for some other people.
Last time we touched on it briefly, but you said you really like Lowell Park. This is our second and final time here. What do you like so much about this place?
It's just a beautiful, beautiful place, and it's going to be even more special today. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. It's we don't get a lot of great days here lately. I can think of a lot of rain, fog, cloudy days. It's a gorgeous day. It's a beautiful park. There'll be a great crowd here. This is one of the better organizations in the league, and following is great. They're playing well, so it'll be a nice day today. Let's hopefully you can spoil it for them.
We'd like to. Well, it's nice. They knew it was my birthday, so they had a nice day. So thank you, Coach. Well, last night, a tough loss, and you said after the game that the team just looked flat. And even in losses this year, this team's had a really good morale. What did you tell them after the game?
Just got to keep playing. You got to keep battling, and we'll count everything up at the end of the year. Whatever or how long the season ends, or when the season ends, we count up what we did, what we've accomplished, what they've got, what they've done to make themselves better players, and that's what we're, But last night's effort was not the best effort. I mean, it's not that they laid down. They played poorly on most of the ends of the game of baseball, and that's what happens. You get beat.
In today's game, you have Aaron Brown starting for you. Originally, it was Eric Stevens. He pitched in last night's game, and you pushed the starters back. How do you make a decision like that with the coaching staff?
Well, we kind of thought it was, it would give us the best shot against Cotuit. They have at least 10 or 11 left-handed hitters on their team, so maybe it's not that many, but it's a lot. And they're very so. Well, let's go with percentages. Let's see if we can tone them down a little bit with a left-handed arm. So that was the reason why we made the switch. It just seems to be a lot of teams this year really loaded with left-handed hitting, as we are. We could split it up a little bit better than some, but Wareham must have had 8 or 9 left-handed hitters. These guys, I'm guessing they've got at least 10. You can check the rosters. Between switch hitters and left-handed hitters, they can fire 10, 11, 12 bats at you, left-handed bats. So our thoughts were, Brownie's got plenty of rest, and let's let Brownie go as far as he can, and we'll keep firing lefties at him.
When you're talking to Scott Winterburn about giving a pitcher a start this late in the season who hasn't had the start, what does that talk go like?
Well, it's like, he has pitched. He knows how to pitch, so it isn't, I don't think it's that big of a deal in a lot of sense to start or throw. It's just, he's going to get the opportunity to pitch. He wants to pitch a little bit, and we're going to give him the opportunity. I know Pepperdine wants to get him in the mix as one of their, top arms, whether it's coming out of the pen or starting. So this is a good opportunity for him, and it's going to be against a very good team.
How important is it to help out college coaches in their time here over the summer?
Well, that's what pretty much is why they're here. They're going to get, or they're supposed to be getting better, and they're supposed to be working on things that they've learned through the course of the year. And in 90% of the cases, the college coaches are very open to let us, make some suggestions, make some hints, and give them a different perspective sometimes. And sometimes the college coaches will say the same things we're saying. It's the terminology might be different, and the pitcher or the hitter or whatever will understand it a little bit differently. And I think I told the story about how we worked with an infielder many years ago, and we were telling him to keep his front shoulder down, and his college coach was saying to keep your back shoulder up. The same thing, but to him it sounded better when we said keep that front shoulder down, and it was, that was all it was. And he ended up having a great summer for us and went on to have a pretty good career. So, it's all about terminology. So sometimes you pick up things from different coaches who say it differently, mean the same thing, because it's not a real hard game. You got to pitch it, throw it, and catch it. Sometimes.
Sometimes you got to hit it. A couple of guys, speaking of left-handed hitters who hit well last night, you had Tom Borden and Mike Francoso. What are they doing well at the plate?
They're just, taking good at-bats. Tommy's, really, made an effort to, cut down strikeouts. He's made an effort to try to get deeper into counts where the count is in more of his favor than trying to hit the first pitch. I mean, there's a time when hitting the first pitch isn't the best time, and there is a time when it is, but we've tried to kind of get Tommy to be a little bit more selective, and try to get the counts a little bit more in his favor. And Sosa's just having, really solid summer for us. Really proud of him. Big hits for us last night. So that's the beauty of this, is the guys who, you're not expecting a lot out of, or guys who were performing not as well at the beginning of the season are now starting to show up.
Seems to me like those are two guys that are very open to the suggestions they're getting from their coaching staff over the summer.
No question. They want to be coached. They're sponges, and that's what we want, is a guy that's a sponge. And you take it, you try it. If it doesn't work, you go back to what you had. and they've done, a lot of guys have done that, and it's been a lot of fun working with these kids and watching these kids work with the coaches. They've really been very, very coachable. It's been a good group.
There's still work to be done as the season is coming to a close. The next game is in Katuitt. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thanks very much.
That was the Managers Show on the Anglers Extra pregame show, which rolls on back.